Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode, the Volvo 145. Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, looking at car brochures from around the world here on YouTube for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those years as well. So please keep in mind, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this type of very nerdy content, then please do consider subscribing. It is completely free. So anyway, what we're looking at today, well, we said it at the start, the beautiful Volvo 145. Really on Mondays we've had quite a few Volvos as of late because I, like many of you, really like them. The last Volvo we looked at was this guy, the Volvo 164. Now, I sort of said on that episode that it was my favourite Volvo. I just loved the styling of it, the big 6-cylinder engine. There is something about it, but quite a few in the comments mentioned the car that it was related to, the much more simpler Volvo 140s. Much simpler front end, and of course an estate. Volvo and estates or wagons, they really go hand in hand, don't they? So yes, I do like these as well, and this brochure is from a similar era to this one, so it's nice to be able to compare that. So anyway, let's throw that on the board, the Volvo 145. So here is today's brochure, the Volvo 145. I thought if I'm going to do a Volvo 140, I may as well pick my favourite one, of course, the lovely estate. And of course this was the time when the Volvo numbers actually meant something. So the 4 for a 4-cylinder engine, 5 for a 5-door, meaning it's the estate. Compared to the last Volvo we looked at, a 6-cylinder car with 4 doors, because of course this is a saloon. So yes, the Volvo numbers did mean something at one time. Interesting, this brochure's also got a dealer stamp, so let's have a look at that. Now, don't adjust your sets. That dealer stamp is as hard to read here on camera as it is if the brochure was right in front of you. It looks like it says Brooklands Motor Company Limited, which is in Leeds, if anyone remembers that particular dealership. It's faint, hard to read, but it's always nice to see some history in a brochure. The front end of the 140, a few people in the comments mentioned they actually preferred that simpler front end, and I can understand why. It's still a very pretty front end. At this time we've got the grille being in bright work, which I quite like as well. I like these earlier Volvo estates, I must admit. I think for me, the older the Volvo, the more I like them, rather weirdly. All black bright work around the window, and even bright, nice, shiny windscreen wipers. But it's the typical Volvo, really, isn't it? I mean, they had that back end design for quite some time. This particular brochure, 1968, so actually exactly the same date as that Volvo 164. So walked into the showroom 68, 69. You could well have seen these two vehicles sat there side by side, although obviously appealing to a very different buyer. You wouldn't have been really toying between whether you wanted that beautiful 6-cylinder saloon car or the estate. You would have got the estate because you needed an estate car, of course. But I guess for the others, like the 144, the saloon version, maybe you was hoping to get the 164, or hoping for your dad to come back with the 164 and then he arrived with a 144. But to be honest with you, I do like them both. Anyway, let's open the brochure up. So with this particular brochure, we find out that it's designed exactly the same way as the 164 brochure, where we got this little bit of a flap. We open it up and it shows the car, so same design. Incidentally, if you did miss that 164 brochure, I will do a link at the end. But let's start over here, read some of this text, go through the nice images, and we'll see where we go. So at the top here it says timelessly elegant, generously spacious, and now with the 2-litre B20 engine. And then we look at the interior and we find actually We love the 164 interior, and actually this looks quite nice. Look at this, a white interior. It's probably vinyl, but still, it does look quite a nice interior for what would have been a workhorse at the time. Anyway, let's see how it describes it. It tells us the Volvo 145, the estate car with all the technical features of the Volvo 142 and Volvo 144. Characteristics that have been described and praised by the technical press all over the world. The safety features, the dual circuit brake system, the tight turning circle, the road holding properties, to mention but a few of the many points in favour of the Volvo 145. Representative and smart, both outside and in. Luxuriously comfortable and generously spacious. Experience the new and powerful 2-litre B20 engine with alternative outputs of 90 or 118 bhp. SAA with resources for even faster overtaking. Fitted with the far-sighted and hyper-effective Volvo system for exhaust control emission. Notice the new surface finish colours. Notice the interior with its new and smart upholstery of soft and strong vinyl material. Sit in one of the Volvo seats. Notice the practically unlimited range of adjustments. The convenient knob for the lumbar support adjustments. Look at the well located instrumentation. The mileometer indicates up to 999,999 miles because a Volvo is indeed built to last. Of course, this is the 60s, isn't it? So a lot of the mileometers at that time only went up to 99,000 miles, so 100,000 miles it rolled over, of course. So it's nice that the manufacturers recognised it was going to do more than that. The dashboard has a well padded and energy absorbing frame. The dazzle free rear view mirror collapses under impact. The steering wheel hub is recessed. The factory installed 3-point safety belts have easy operated catches and strong anchorages in the body, of course a very Volvo thing. The interior is in a class of its own. Generous internal dimensions in the rear seat as well, providing true travelling comfort for 3 people with plenty of room to stretch their legs. Then we got this nice little dash pick on there showing you the horn ring and design, but what it's really describing here is this one's an automatic and showing the marker for the easy to read automatic transmission. But what I like about it is the simplicity of this dashboard for the 60s, and I do really like that sort of strip speedometer on them. It doesn't look anything special today, but at the time that would have looked a very modern interior. And on the other side of the page, of course, we're going to really look at what the main selling point was for the Volvo. But I can't really wait any longer. Let's open this flap up, have a proper look at this beautiful image for this 145. I love these brochures for the very reason that they have that flap at this time, and it's a really good quality image that you really don't find on more modern brochures. Really makes me want to collect every single brochure for Volvo in the 60s. Now, a lot of you said you preferred this more simpler front end, and to some degree I don't disagree that it's much more of a Volvo front end, isn't it? And certainly, even though I said this is probably the most beautiful Volvo in my opinion, I do still like that, and the very traditional estate is unmistakably a Volvo, isn't it, from any distance, and really that was really a very saleable end. The interesting thing, of course, now that these were vast cars in the UK at this time, but in reality, if you had one of these today and parked it next to the average SUV in the UK, it would look tiny, which makes me think, have we grown that much in size? Because really that was all the space you ever really needed. That was your perfect family car, wasn't it? So I don't understand really getting any bigger than this. But anyway, my views and often my views don't really mean a great deal, but I like these earlier Volvos. I've said it before, but the older the Volvo, the more I like it, and I guess it's the same for things like Mercedes as well. The older the Mercedes, the more I like them. And obviously at this time, build quality was extremely high. I do like these early ones as well because of all the bright work they had on the grille and round the windows and the wipers. It just looked a quality vehicle, although in reality it was just a workhorse for many families. Anyway, let's throw this flap around and let's look at that main selling point of the car. So here it tells us to open the large rear door. It lifts very easy because 2 gas springs help you. This means perfect accessibility. You can load large quantities of cargo very quickly. The cargo space is well fitted out and easy to keep clean because of the durable textile upholstery. It is also completely free from unnecessary components at the same time as it is rich in practical features, such as the extra cavity in the cargo space floor, which is designed for the transportation of delicate material. Notice the practical location of the spare wheel vertically behind the left hand rear wheel. This means it does not steal any of the cargo space accommodation. There is similar well on the other side. It can be used, for example, for tools and a spare can of fuel. Fold down the rear seat. The backrest catch is loosened very easily in one single operation from either the right or left sides. You have now in front of you a cargo space which is 188 centimeters long with accommodation for about 2 cubic meters of luggage space. Luggage or cargo, I do apologise. The first time you load this vehicle, you'll find out what a large quantity this is. Do it soon. Test drive the Volvo 145, the estate car with all the outstanding features of the 140 series. And this is what I really love about Volvo, all the practical, well thought out ideas for the time in a package that was really high quality. All the little catches and that are good quality materials, and we've got these little hatches to put extra bits and pieces in there. I think it was certainly not a car you would go, wow, what a beautiful car, but still surely the ideal family transport. For example, this little image showing the backrest retainer. Look at the quality of the materials used. It says it can be released from either side of the car. In my opinion, also the perfect place to put the spare wheel, located vertically behind the left-hand rear wheel, and the practical cover is easy to remove. I always much prefer that position than sticking it underneath and it being absolutely filthy and rusty when you actually need it. I do like that that's easy to get at, and I think I might steal this idea because those who are familiar with the channel, are regulars, will know I've got a Toyota Sienna, which is a 4-wheel drive, which never came with a spare wheel, weirdly, and there's nowhere to put it because of the all-wheel drive system. I'm kind of like thinking about investigating underneath all the plastics at that side to see if I can hide the spare wheel, something similar to that. I'll keep you informed of that though. The other things shown on this brochure, it tells us the Volvo 145 cars have dual circuit brakes. This means that you have about 80% of full braking effect, even if one of the circuits should be out of operation. So that then takes us to the back page and the Volvo specs, and also some rather nice little images. Let's start at the picture of the engine. And it tells you this image is the new 2-litre B20 engine with particularly good low revolution performance and alternative outputs of 90 or 118 bhp SAE. And there it is. Looks like not a bad engine to work on. Moving to the specs. It tells us engine type B20, 4-cylinder overhead valve engine, 5-bearing crankshaft, 1986 litres. What else are we going to have a look at there? So there is 2 versions, like it says. So a 90 bhp version is lower model, so maximum output 90 bhp at 5000 rpm, maximum torque 119 pound-foot SAE at 3000 rpm. And then the 118 bhp version, maximum output 118 bhp SAE at 5800 rpm. Maximum torque 123 pound-foot SAE at 3500 rpm. Fan fitted with fluid slip type coupling. Cooling system is sealed water cooling with pump and thermostat. Capacity approximately 8.5 litres, frost resistant. Electrical system, we get an alternator 35 amp, starter motor 1 horsepower, gearboxes 4-speed fully synchronized floor mounted gear lever, and an automatic transmission fully automatic unit. Steering is an older design, cam and roller type, left or right hand drive. Available. Collapsible steering shaft of safety type, 4 turns of steering wheel from lock to lock, turning circle diameter, between curbs is 30 feet 4 inches, between walls 32 foot 10 inches, so it is quite a big long car, but you know, I always like these older cars because the turning circles are pretty good. Moving to the brake system, foot brake, dual circuit brake system, each circuit acting on both front wheels and 1 rear wheel. A warning lamp on the dashboard lights up should one of the brake circuits not function correctly. Self-adjusting disc brakes all round with booster. A relief valve in each brake circuit prevents the rear wheels from locking before the front wheels in the case of emergency braking. Parking brake acts mechanically on special brake drums on rear wheels. Parking brake lever located between driving seat and door. A warning lamp on the dashboard shows when the parking brake is applied. It then talks about the wheels and tyres being a pressed steel wheel and 6-ply tyres. Fuel tank located at rear, capacity 58 litres, 13.5 imperial gallons. Shows the dimensions for this lovely estate car, including the curb weights, and then moving down we get various other dimensions, width of tailgate, etc. Goes on to tell us the Volvo 140 series requires no greasing whatsoever. And then the usual garb on a brochure, we can change things at any time. The factory reserves the right to modify, design and equipment without previous notice. And then we've got some rather nice little diagrams. So we get some little drawings of the new B20 engine is fitted with exhaust emission control. The alternator charges the battery even at low engine speeds. The Volvo 145 is fitted with disc brakes on all 4 wheels, another little nice touch. The steering shaft is of safety type and collapses should the front end of the vehicle be subjected to deformation. And then the final diagram there, the B20 engine crankshaft is carried in 5 main bearings. And then these little codes at the end, that 868 tells us that's 1968 of course. England, because this is for the English market, printed in Sweden. A little bit of Swedish for you there at the end as well. So there you go, the lovely 140 series, and in this case the 145. People of the internet, you've kind of like convinced me. I think I like this as much as the 164 actually when I come to read the brochure as well. But thank you so much for watching today. Any members of these, please do jot them in the comments. I think a lot of the comments have already been made about the 140 series when we looked at the 164, but don't let that stop you. Always love reading all your comments. We'll end as we always do by saying, do please consider subscribing. It is all completely free. You'll never be charged to be a subscriber. I'll add a couple more boxes here for other episodes you may be interested in viewing. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do come back again soon. Take care, all the best, and goodbye.